McHenry, the Chairman of the Oversight and Investigations Committee, for 3 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to thank our panel for being here today. 2.5 years ago, President Obama, when he signed the Dodd-Frank Act, said that this would end too big to fail. Across the ideological spectrum, we hear debate, but greater consensus on the side that Dodd-Frank did not end too big to fail. I appreciate the ranking member's opening statement. And in fact, in the Oversight Subcommittee, which I chair, we've gone section by section in the text of Dodd-Frank, and we've heard a variety of witnesses over the previous few months about how Dodd-Frank does not end too big to fail. And systemically, we went through those section by sections of Dodd-Frank. It's very important. From these hearings, we identified, among other things, the shocking inability of the Financial Stability Oversight Council to perform one of its core functions, identifying new risks to the economy. We've learned that nearly 3 years after enactment of Dodd-Frank, the Federal Reserve has not considered nor made public how it will apply its broad new authorities to prevent future financial crises. We've heard from legal scholars and economic experts on Dodd-Frank's new resolution authority, the orderly liquidation authority, and what it will mean in future bailouts as the bailout mechanism when the taxpayer will provide liquidity to these failed firms. The subcommittee learned that far from creating greater clarity and certainty in the marketplace, the Dodd-Frank law simply granted an incredible amount of power and discretion to federal regulators to enshrine future taxpayer bailouts for specially designated large institutions. Now, that designation we've had a lot of discussion about as well. Finally, we heard testimony, shockingly, from the Justice Department regarding their obvious reluctance to prosecute large financial institutions, which may be the best evidence yet that this administration doesn't even believe that the Dodd-Frank Act ends too big to fail. Now, the fact is Dodd-Frank did not end too big to fail. It guaranteed it. Instead of making it implicit, it now has made it explicit. That is a problem, and we need to address it. And the message that it has sent to the marketplace has created a perverse incentive to the creditors of the largest financial firms. Now, this undermines the taxpayer, it undermines small financial institutions, and it undermines a truly competitive and fair marketplace. Too big to fail must end, and that's what this hearing begins to discuss. Thanks so much, Mr. Chairman.
The Chair now recognizes